Today is Sunday, February 20th, and it's 12:43 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the daily chart for Alibaba Group, ticker symbol BABA. And reviewing BABA, this is an asset or security I've traded in the past. And the last trade I took involving BABA was, if I click on the monitor tab, the last trade I took was back on January 21st when I purchased 6 option contracts with a strike price of $116. And my entry price came out to about $92, $93 per contract. And I held on to the contract for about a day and a half. And I sold all 6 contracts on January 24th for $242 per contract. So this trade was a quick flip, about a day and a half, and this was about $900 profit. So again, this was a purchase I made on January 21st, and I sold out on January 24th. So going back to the chart, January 21st was right here. This is the candlestick that I bought. And January 24th was this candlestick right here. So when I bought the contract, Alibaba was approximately $127. And by the time I sold it, it fell below the $116 strike price, which made it a profitable trade. So this was a quick trade. And the reason I'm looking at BABA now is that this is an ADR. ADR is right here. So the ticker or the full plating of the security is Alibaba Group Holdings Limited, ADR sponsored. So ADR is a designation for American Depository Receipt. And what this essentially identifies is that this is a foreign company traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So Alibaba is just one of those top tech Chinese companies. So, and it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So this company isn't headquartered in the United States. So this is an ADR. And there are other foreign companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and those companies are traded as ADRs as well, or designated as an ADR. So a few other ADRs that I've traded in the past is Anheuser-Busch, AmBev, right? So ADR. So Anheuser-Busch is an American company which was bought out by a foreign company a few years ago. So now it's designated as an ADR. I've traded them in the past. Another company I traded is NEO. Right here. So NEO, ticker symbol NIO, ADR. So another foreign company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And one other recent company that I traded that's also an ADR is Hello Group. This is, I believe, another Chinese company. So this is ADR as well. So ticker symbol is MOMO. So long story short, I'm going ADRs right now because another ADR or another foreign company listed on the New York Stock Exchange hit my radar. And that's AYALA Group. AYALA. Is it AYALA? Right here, AYALA Corp, ADR, and as of Friday's close, let me select that. So as of Friday's close, this foreign company is a Filipino company. It's in the Philippines. So it closed Friday at $16.80. Now, I don't think I can trade this because based on the daily time frame, so this is a daily time frame for this security, and we can see that it's illiquid. It's not there's no volume to this, so I can't really trade this. I probably can, but it would take an extensive time for this to work in my favor because, again, from this chart, there's not much volume at all in this asset class here. So even if I click on trade, as an options trader, I can't trade this because there's no options. There's no options. So the only thing I would have to do is buy and hold. Like I can't, I don't think this is an efficient class for me to trade, even though what I saw in BABA, I'm seeing similar pattern. So if I go back to BABA real quickly. So here, right, so the candlesticks are totally different than what it was in AYALA, right? So this has a lot more volume than AYALA. So this is something I could trade on a day-to-day basis. And if I click on trade, this security does have option contracts that I can trade, unlike AYALA. So going back to this, right, so if I drop back to a weekly time frame, this is a pattern that I identified back in October. And you can see here that since I identified this pattern, from my perspective, market structure is still consistent. And not only consistent, but it's still valid, right? Because the blue band and the purple band are still acting as support and resistance. The yellow band is acting both as support and resistance. So we can see that here as price is ranging inside the Pitchfork indicator here. So, and the local support resistance levels I've identified is local resistance of 143.85, local support of 99.15. Price hasn't gotten that low, but it's hung up right now at around $121.50. So for the past few weeks, going as far back as November, end of November, price has just been ranging sideways for BABA. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. And from where price closed last Friday, price is acting, it's pretty much cornered, right? So the resistance is 121.50 and the yellow band is acting as support right now. So it's probable that price is just going to continue ranging between 121.50 as resistance and this yellow band, right? So as time progresses, BABA might make multiple attempts to get above 121.50. It possibly could within the next maybe 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. I would say that. But if price continues to grind towards the downside and following this yellow band, then there's a probability that price will fall to 99.15. And at this point, price could possibly be held as support. But now this yellow band is squeezing against the 99.15 support level. And at that point, price could either shoot back up, retest 121.50, or possibly fall further towards the downside. If this pattern does play out, then I would look for some like early April where volatility could pick up in the event that price does fall towards 99.15 before then. So anyway, going back to AYALA, I did a quick look on the Philippine Stock Exchange, and I'm not sure if I can, so let me just pause this real quickly, and I'll get into the Philippine Stock Exchange, because from that review, from AYALA's chart, I can't review this. So this is the weekly time frame right now, and I can't read any of this stuff. So I would have to go into the Philippine Stock Exchange to take a look at their chart there. So I'll pause it for now, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the Philippine Stock Exchange website, ticker symbol, The link is pse.com.ph. So from the Philippine Stock Exchange website, you can see here that ALI, I believe it is the symbol for AYALA. I was going to say Alibaba. So as of Friday 18th, AYALA had a value of 588 million. I think this is the volume. And the price is $39.65. There was a change of, 39 pesos. So if I click on this, so it's AYALA Land. So this is what I saw on Thinkorswim. So if I scroll down, so here's the chart for AYALA Land, and this is the candles. This is the daily time frame. And what I like to do is, because I trade options, I like to look at it at the weekly time frame. Okay, so here we can see that price did fall down here, and there seems to be a resistance level around this area. So so let me see if I can pin this here, make this a bit louder. So just what's going on? So let's say 46.85. Okay. And let's see if I can find a support level of, let's say 28.95. And then if I was to take the difference of the two, right, and that would be 37.95 as my mid-level. So we can see that if price, what is this, price on the hold? So at the weekly time frame, we can see that price got above this mid-level here and just ranged up, retested or tested 46.85, got rejected, came back down to this mid-level support level, range, broke above it, right? So this is the story that this chart is telling me based on what I've identified as support and resistance values. So the dashed line is the mid-level between the local resistance and local support. So this is where things get murky, right? Because it's battling both support and resistance. And right here from last week, right, there was a strong push up in AYALA, and we could see that there's this pattern, this angle towards the upside, and this looks like a strong push up. So again, this is something similar to what I saw in Alibaba back in October, but Baba was heading down, but AYALA looks like it's heading up. So this is the opposite. So I like to use the Andrews Pitchfork. Where is it? Right here. Oh, so it's just a pitchfork. In Thinkorswim, it's Andrews Pitchfork. So if I use this, right, and yeah, so we can see that again from the weekly time frame. The blue is resistance and support. The green is where a lot of the price action is taking place, and where it closed Friday, looks like AYALA is trying to get back into the green channel, and we could see something like this where over the next few weeks price could retest this red line, which is equal to the mid-level of this channel, right? And potentially as time progresses, if market structure does hold, right? Because this is now angling towards the upside, it might retest around 42, 43 pesos over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And then eventually it might even get above it and retest the upper band of this Pitchfork. So I'm kind of bullish on this security. So if, unfortunately, again, Thinkorswim doesn't have option contracts for this, but if there were, I would definitely take a long position, anticipating that AYALA could hit 46.85, right? Because this is the local resistance level identified. So I would anticipate that this level could, you know, if I was going to enter a position right here based on Friday's close, right? So if I'm going to take it up to 46, let's say 46.75 and risking, right? So this would be a 2.5 risk to reward from my perspective. Again, this is just from my perspective of what I think might play out over the next few weeks. But AYALA does look bullish, even though long picture, it has price going sideways pretty much since falling into this area back in March of 2020. So yeah, so this would be an area of interest as well, 41.85. So if price does continue to grind up and breaks above 41.60, then that would be another confirmation that 46.85, 46.75 could be another target later on, maybe Q2, heading into the summer. So I'll definitely keep an eye on this stock and see whether or not my assessment is valid. Again, I'm seeing AYALA opposite of what Baba did back in October. So yeah, so that's it. Until the next update, I'll give it like another week, and then I'll possibly do another follow-up for AYALA, and I'll be back.